Welcome to the deep dive. Today we're really zeroing in on the recent buzz around Republican senators and their, let's say, reactions to Donald Trump's new tariff plans.
Yeah, and we've got some interesting source material here, basically excerpts from a Ring of Fire YouTube analysis. It really captures the immediate concerns and questions popping up among key Republican figures in the Senate.
What's striking, I think, is that the skepticism we're seeing isn't just from the usual, moderate dissenters.
Exactly. It looks like even some of Trump's most reliable allies, people on Capitol Hill, are expressing pretty significant reservations.
So this could signal a real shift, maybe, in the political thinking around trade policy.
It could. Our mission today really is to dig into why these senators are voicing such strong concerns, what's behind it.
Okay, let's start with the scene setting. Trump held this event, called it Liberation Day, to celebrate rolling out these tariffs.
Right? Liberation Day.
But what jumps out immediately is who wasn't there. A number of Republican senators, including some pretty staunch Trump loyalists, were just absent.
Yeah, that absence speaks volumes, doesn't it? When key allies skip a celebration for a major policy like this, it often suggests some underlying discomfort or disagreement, maybe.
It makes you wonder right off the bat, what's causing this hesitation? Why aren't they publicly backing these tariffs?
Exactly. And it's not just about who wasn't there. We also have some direct reactions recorded.
Right. Let's look at Senator Ron Johnson. The analysis we have calls him a big Trump ally.
Mm-hmm.
But his response was pretty direct. He called the tariffs a high-risk move, and he seemed genuinely confused about it all.
Yeah. What's interesting about Johnson's comments is he mentioned the market's negative reaction. He even said he had a similar reaction himself.
So it's not just political opposition. It's tied to, actual economic signals.
Seems like it. It makes you wonder what specific indicators he might be looking at. He didn't just dismiss it.
No, and then he got quite specific. He said, and I'm quoting here, "I don't know what his strategy is. He has no plan, no goal. 7 or 8 different goals at this point. I'm confused."
Wow. That's a pretty blunt assessment, especially coming from someone generally seen as an ally.
Totally. It just highlights this feeling that there isn't a clear, coherent objective for these tariffs. Beyond that slightly odd scenario involving annexing Canada that was mentioned.
Well, that lack of a clear objective is a really crucial point. Usually, tariffs have a specific aim, right? Protecting domestic industry, leverage in talks.
Sure.
Johnson's statement really suggests a lack of that kind of strategic thinking here.
Yeah.
So you have to ask, what is the intended outcome?
Good question. Then there's Senator Thom Tillis. He went a different route, more sarcastic.
Oh, yeah. What did he say?
Reporters asked him about the tariffs and the celebration, and his response was just, "Every day is a reason for celebration."
Oof. You can just hear the skepticism in that, can't you?
Definitely.
That kind of sarcasm, though, it's short but effective. It signals, to people paying attention, other politicians, the media, that he's not buying the celebratory mood around these tariffs.
Right, without having to directly attack the policy itself.
Precisely.
But maybe one of the most significant reactions came from Senator Tommy Tuberville.
Okay, Tuberville. He's described in the analysis as one of Trump's staunchest allies. So what did he say?
Well, even he voiced some pretty serious concerns, specifically about how car tariffs could impact his state, Alabama.
Ah, okay. So getting down to the local impact, that makes sense.
Yeah, he mentioned the 7 car manufacturers in Alabama, and he pointed out the very likely outcome of increased car prices because of tariffs on imported parts.
That really brings the potential impact home, doesn't it? For a specific state and its economy. It's not abstract anymore.
And that's a huge point the analysis makes. No car made in the U.S. is 100% American-made components. They all rely on global supply chains.
Right. That's just how modern manufacturing works.
So these tariffs won't just hit foreign cars, they'll affect the cost of American-branded cars, too. And even Tuberville, this strong Trump supporter, seems to, get that. He gets that prices will likely go up, and he's concerned.
Use the word concerned.
Yep.
Concerned. That really highlights it. Tuberville's acknowledging this basic reality of interconnected supply chains. Tariffs act like a wrench in the works, increasing costs for parts, which usually means higher prices for the final product. His concern really underlines how these policies could directly hit the folks he represents.
So, okay, you've got Johnson confused, Tuberville worried about his state's economy. What are the broader implications here? The analysis suggests these Republican senators probably see the potential for a big consumer backlash if prices start climbing.
And connecting that to the bigger political picture, they're likely weighing the risks, right?
Yeah.
The Republican Party holds a lot of power currently, House, Senate, White House, judiciary mentioned in the analysis. If these tariffs cause economic pain that voters feel directly, well, there's a real chance they'll hold the party accountable in future elections. The analysis specifically mentions the 2026 midterms.
So are the potential benefits worth the political cost? That's the calculation they might be making?
Seems likely. It raises that question.
Right. The commentator even floated the idea of a lame duck final 2 years for a Trump presidency if this voter discontent really takes hold.
And that's a significant warning, especially considering the source seems to be a conservative-leaning analysis. It suggests the potential political fallout could be really substantial, maybe even long-lasting.
It really shines a light on this tension, doesn't it, between, party loyalty and what they see as best for their constituents or the economy overall.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
When key figures in the president's own party are showing such clear reservations, it suggests there isn't unified support for this trade strategy. And that could make it harder to implement, harder for it to succeed long-term.
So wrapping this up, our deep dive into this analysis shows, well, a clear pattern. Concern, confusion about Trump's new tariffs, and it reaches even his strongest allies in the Senate.
Yeah, and the main reasons seem to be worries about negative economic effects, especially rising consumer prices, and the political risk that comes with that, the potential voter backlash.
What really stands out is how these reactions highlight just how complex trade policy is in today's global economy. These senators' immediate worries show the potential for unintended consequences, and that tricky balance between domestic goals and global trade.
Definitely.
Which leads us to our final thought for you, the listener. Given these pretty deep concerns coming from within Trump's own party, how might these tariffs end up reshaping the political landscape? How might they influence future economic debates, whatever their immediate impact? What does this internal Republican conflict signal about the long-term viability of this trade strategy? And maybe, how could it affect their ability to govern down the road?
Lots to think about there. Definitely a situation with potential ripple effects far beyond just tariffs.
Indeed. Thanks for taking this deep dive with us today.